So today I'm going to be working in Mythomorphia again by Kerbyrosanes. Now I did do the whole of this background on camera. I'm hoping to do the majority of this on film. Like I'll do the section of the head or the section of the wing and then do a little bit off camera, and then if I start a different area I'll do that on camera as well, or maybe I'll do that and then all together at the end do it as a time lapse, because I am struggling with the filming at the minute. I do hope that you understand. If you hear bangs and squeaks in the background, my daughter's upstairs watching TV. So it was a watercolour background that I did, and I did a splatter of acrylic paint. I love how it turned out, I really do, and the page has flattened nicely. Now I did this page 3 or 4 days ago, so it's been sat underneath other books just flattening out a little bit. So I've got my Inktense pencils out because that's what I've chosen to use today. I've got my swatch book, got my water redder, I've got all my paintbrushes and aqua brushes, and it's just a case of picking the colours that I want. And I think I want to go down the pinky route just to try and tie some of this pink in. So maybe some of the fuchsia thistle maybe, and then I don't want it to match completely, I just wanted to chuck a little bit of pink in there. But for the main colour, let me just have a see. What about like a teal green? The teal green and the pink maybe, or that might be too clashing. We'll start with the pink and see how we get on. So I wanted the fuchsia and the thistle, or even the fuchsia, no, the fuchsia and the red violet, I think. That's what we'll pick out. Now I've not sharpened these, I'm not going to keep pausing the video, so I do apologise because you will hear me sharpening my pencil. Which was the other colour? Red violet, which is right there. So I hope everyone is doing alright. It's a Saturday afternoon when I'm managing to film this. Let's move that out of the way. And I'll just say it at the start of the video, because I usually say it towards the end of the video. But if you're not subscribed, then please do. I do notice that about 40% of the people that watch my videos are subscribed. So do click the subscribe button and click the little bell as well, because it will notify you whenever I upload, which very soon. I'm on the countdown, and yes, I'm counting down the days. We're 3 weeks on Monday. It'll be a lot more regular and a lot more scheduled. Anyway, so we will work on the head, I think. And is this the thistle? This is the thistle, but I wanted fuchsia, so I've got the wrong colour already. But I did get the red violet, didn't I? Yep. So where's my fuchsia? There it is. So this is the lightest pink, I do believe, in the Inktense. Now I do own the full set, the 72. And I've had a couple of questions asking, would you pick Inktense pencils over the either the Faber-Castell or the Arteza ones? Now these are completely different from them because they're not watercolour, they are ink. They are ink based, these pencils. Now let's see how far I can zoom in before the camera says no. I think that should be okay. Yeah, and they are completely different. But my favourite watercolour pencil is the Faber-Castell Albert Dürer. And then these are a really close water medium, should I say, because they're not a watercolour pencil. I'm not sure whereabouts I'm going to go with this, we'll just see. So I'll pull out a couple of different size aqua brushes to start with. I've got a teeny tiny one and then quite a large one. So actually I'm going to go over the whole of the area, and then I want to darken it up towards his beak. Now I did have a couple of issues with the paper ripping because of the liquid, the masking fluid that I was using. So I'm hoping that the paper doesn't pill too much here, but I think we'll be alright. Just get a nice solid base colour of that down. And then with the red violet, it is the red violet, it is the red violet. Go in these areas. Same thing as colour pencils turn your pencil as you go to keep that point as sharp as possible. But I think it'll be very interesting once this is finished to look at the side by side. It did rip a lot there as well. Look at the side by side. Now I was going to draw these back in, but I think I'll get away with it. I'll get away with just colouring over the top. So we'll activate that now. We can always let it dry and then come back and add more. So I've got my cloth here, my very stained cloth, and I think I'll start off with the smaller of the two brushes and see how I get on. And these are the Kerby water brushes, I do believe, and start off at my lightest area and pull the colour down. You see where the paper's ripped, it's not really liking that very much, so I will have to be careful how much water I do add. It's strange because I've never ever had an issue before with these books, so maybe it was just a one-off. Wet the brush again, wipe off the excess and bring these colours in together. This is going to be a super pink griffin by the looks of it. Not your traditional browns and greys. I think they look quite good. I've woken up this morning as well with a terrible sore throat, so I have to have a drink every couple of minutes. So we'll just carry on with that and bring it all the way down the neck. I think I might end up just going pink all over after me saying that at the start. I'm terrible. Or adding some black or dark greys with coloured pencil over the top just to add a little bit of depth, you know, to each individual feather. Yeah, they are feathers, them, aren't they? So all this as well. Just try and use a bit of a lighter hand this time. It's nice to be working in Kerby's boots again. I do find them quite relaxing. I know a lot of people find Kerby's boots intimidating, but I just find them really fun. So I didn't want to make this too many steps. I didn't want to have too many steps in this. So just with the two colours of Inktense, you should be able to just follow along with these two if you don't have the full set. Because I do know that you can buy these open stock, these pencils. This looks exactly the same. I've said it before, I play a game on the Xbox called Ark Survival Evolved, where you sort of like, not catch, you tame dinosaurs and breed them and fight with them, and it looks like one of the ones that I mutated ages ago. You have to breed them over and over and over again, and you get a special mutation. But it wasn't with the griffin, it was with another dinosaur, because I don't think you can breed these still. I still need to start The Witcher. I've downloaded it again, so it's there waiting on the Xbox, but my husband is currently playing Fable 2. He's just finished number 3, so he's doing it backwards. So yeah, the time in the evenings he's got the Xbox. So I'll start it when the kids have gone back to school. Have an hour in the afternoon of playing The Witcher. But it's just been released as well. There's a new Pokemon out for the Switch. It's around November time, I think, October, November time. So I'll be spending hours and hours and hours playing that in the evenings, and I can't wait. So where Kerby's already put some of these shadows, I'm just adding the red violet. And I will have to do it the opposite way around this time as well once I'm activating it. Yeah, my throat is definitely not right. I went for a walk, if you saw that flip through of the Bambi book, I went for a walk to, I say my local Aldi's. It takes us half an hour to walk there and half an hour to walk back. And we got absolutely drenched, me and my son. Isabel was fine, she was covered up. She had a rain jacket on, waterproof pants, all sorts, she was absolutely fine, but we got soaked. And since then, I felt a bit nasally, and like I said, I've woken up this morning with a sore throat. And I said to my husband this morning, I need to remember sometimes I'm 34 this year, so going out getting wet like that and cold is probably not a good idea. So I'll switch to the bigger brush now and see what that one's like. And try and work to light to dark, light to dark. Yeah, I might have a play around with that watercolour boot tonight. It is really, really nice. It'd be lovely for a little girl's or a baby's bedroom, all painted and framed. See how vibrant these colours are. I'll always tell the story of before I got Inktense, what I thought about them. I was like, I don't get what the fuss is about, because I saw them in an art shop. I don't get it. And the next day I bought them on Amazon because they came on at such a cheap price. I bought them then. And then once I'd had a play with them and activated the colour, I realised what everyone was talking about. So you can't be, that is really, you can't judge a book by its cover, definitely with these pencils. Definitely. The only thing is I struggle with these pencils with backgrounds. You have to work so quick with them, and if you're doing such a big area, they just go streaky on me. So I do just stick to the actual illustration itself. I probably wouldn't even do the mountains in this or the clouds, because I'd be a bit nervous about it streaking. And I've just subscribed to Disney Plus again, because The Walking Dead's coming on next week. And it's changed so much. There's so much. When I first had it, when it first came out, there was literally just Disney stuff on it, but there's all sorts on there now. I was going to buy Signs, the movie. It's an older one now. To watch that tonight, and it's on there. There's loads of movies on there, all the ones that I want to watch again. And then I tried to make my daughter watch, I think it's called Dinosaur, on there this morning. I used to watch that when I was a child, but no, she's not interested. I happily sat there and watched it for about 10 minutes though. So that's that base done. I think I want, see if you look, it's actually, if I zoom out, so you got the wings and the head and the claws, like talons of the griffin, but the back end is more like a horse or like a unicorn. So I'm wondering if I do it in a different colour, the back end, it might look a bit odd. So I think I will have to stick to the same colour scheme. But for the mountains, I might just go ahead and use watercolour and then go over the top with some pencils. But doing that, I will warn you, if you've already put a media down on your page like the watercolour and you're going over the top with pencils, it will eat your pencils because it's giving the paper tooth. So I'd use probably your more budget pencils. I wouldn't go ahead and put luminous on that or Holbein's. I'd probably just stick to like the Arteza maybe on my Prismacolor. Yeah, but I am going to do the legs a different colour, and I'm liking the idea of that sienna gold and then with a really dark shadow, which could be the dark chocolate or the sepia ink maybe. So what did I say? The sienna gold, that's one that I've used quite a lot of. So that's sienna gold, and then the ink one, which was sepia ink, Indian ink, sepia ink. No, I'll stick with the sepia ink, I think. And all these little bits and bobs that you can see, like you've got a random pumpkin and little ghosts and stuff, I will just stick to the same colour scheme. I don't like them standing out too much. So let's do these legs. I nearly didn't zoom in again. I'm terrible for remembering to zoom in, I do apologise. So is that both of the legs in there? It is. I've got a super squeaky chair. And what colour should I do the mountains though now that I'm doing this colour? I do usually have some sort of image in my mind of how I want it to turn out, but I haven't with this one. I really haven't. So another bit of the page that got ripped off, unfortunately. So that is the lighter shade pop down, and then with this sepia ink, let's darken some of this up. Underneath here will be darker with a shadow, and same with here. And behind here will be a lot darker as well. And just maybe a little bit here, and it will be darker though, that will be in shadow behind here. Just like that. And then with the smaller one this time, actually, just make sure it's clean. Try and stick to doing the lighter areas first. And then we'll work on this side. Try and get all the lighter areas activated first, just so it doesn't end up like this, because I don't think I did that bit very well, but I'm happy with the actual head. See, I've just took my time a little bit more with that one. I didn't talk, just concentrating, and I think that's turned out a lot better. Oh, if you can hear little squeaks and stuff as well, it's my dogs, and one of them is snoring again. Yeah, I'm really happy with how that one's turned out actually. So, them two colours can be moved for now. Let's go back in with the, is it thistle? No, fuchsia. Why do I keep getting that mixed up? So I'm going to do the exact same thing as what I just did with that, and really concentrate on not going over the darker areas, because I'm feeling like now I want to add a little bit more to that bit, to his chest and his neck. So let's get this little area out of the way first. What is going on? Can you hear that? I think it needs oiling. It's every time I put my elbow on it. So I'm just placing it there, so I think that's where the shadow would be. So, lighter area first. And the darker area, pull it down. It may be as well though, because these two colours are quite similar. I maybe should have picked a darker shade. I'm just picking up the pigment there, just to lighten that up a little bit, just like that. Just make sure you're definitely in frame, and we'll go over this whole area, just lightly. I think just right up to the wing there, maybe. Just like that. And then add the, I've done it the wrong way around, haven't I? I've done it the wrong way around. Right, I think I'm going to have to add a darker pink anyway. So I'll stick with the fuchsia, and I'm going to switch my darkest one. I've got that, is it Shavaz? This one here. I think I'm going to switch to that one, so we'll add a little bit more of that, because I wanted it to be, you know, like this, quite dark. So I should be alright going over the top, as long as this is fully dry, which it feels like it is. So we'll give that a go. Let's give this a sharpen. Oh, the sharpener that I use is the crank one by Helix. Is it Helix? Just there. I've not had an issue with this yet, and I've had this for over a year, I want to say. I've not had an issue with it. So let's see how we get on with the darker shade. And if it works out okay, I'll add some more to this side, to his head. What colour do you think I should do his beak? I'm thinking it should be the same colour as his talons. So let's get this activated. I'll stick with the smaller one still. And just try and avoid where I put that darker colour down. And now start activating it because I don't want to leave it too long. See, that is better. Now pull some of this colour down and blend it all together. Wipe off, activate the lighter. That is a lot better. Well, that's who's in it. I was thinking of that film again then. It's Mel Gibson. Mel Gibson who's in it. And I've watched that film years ago, but my son's not watched it. And I just fancied it again. Oh, did anybody see that little clip that I added to Instagram? Of me laughing at him trying his uniform on. I clearly ordered the wrong size, but it wasn't just me, a lot of parents did. So we have to go back next week and get him the right size. Oh god, but I was laughing. So funny. So I'll add it to a couple of these areas. And then now that I've done most of it, I can just activate it as I go. Just switching between the two and adding and activating, and one of them's crumbled, so I can go to one side. And then a bit right at the top of his beak. Just like that, but that's a good idea of what I'm going for. I might end up using a little bit of pencil over the top maybe. I'm not 100% sure, but that's the gist of what I'm going to go for. I'm going to bring that colour all the way down. And the clouds, I don't think I'm going to use Inktense. I'm thinking in my head out loud here of what I'm going to do, because I've not planned it. But if I use Inktense on these clouds here, my idea is to have this colour at the very start of the clouds, and as it's going out, like ombre it into barely nothing rather, so it goes lighter and lighter and lighter, so eventually it goes to white maybe. But I think I will struggle with these pencils, so maybe switch to either Neocolor 2s or the Albert Duras maybe, I'm not sure. I never usually overthink a page as much as I have done with this, because I do want to I want to get this one right. I'm going to do the beak the exact same colour as them now. So I do really like how that combination turned out. And his eyes as well, I want an orangey yellow, more or less the same as the sky, I'm thinking. So you can see where the paper's ripped there. So what I'm going to have to do is, once I've done this, and if it's still sticking up like that, I will have to glue it down. I've just got a little glue stick that I could use. So I'm going to have to be mega careful around here. I don't want to rip it again. And then some underneath as well. And keep my fingers crossed. I'll wipe off my brush. Well, luckily I've not ripped it anymore, I've not damaged it any more than it already is. So once that's fully dry, I'll have to glue that down. Same with these little hooves down here. Maybe they should be this yellow colour. Maybe. So this wing at the back, let's get that done. And then in with the darker shade. You could always just activate that and then go back and do your darker shade. That might be easier. But I know it's all clear there, but I do want to make that all shadowed. With it being right next to his body, I do think it will be in shadow. Well, now it is anyway. So the bigger water brush. Still try and avoid some of these darker areas as best as I can. I'll go and activate them now. just like that. Right, so I'm still thinking about what I want to do with the whole of the rest of this. I will just do off camera, so I'll keep all my colours to one side that I have been using. I don't want to do the whole thing on camera. I think the mountains, so we can move the Inktense for now. And I think I'm going to get my watercolours out. I am, so I'll be right back. Right, so I've pulled a palette out here that I've not used in a long time. It's the Pastel Dreams by Prima. Couldn't even remember the name of it then. But I've thought I'm just going to go all out. I'm going to go all out on this page, and I want this paradise colour for the mountains. So this is just going to be to base the mountains. I'm not going to add any shadows or anything like that. I want to go over the top with coloured pencils for the shadow part, because I'm thinking that the Astra pencils, the Holbein dupes, there'll be some lovely greens, turquoises in that I'll be able to use on this. That's my idea anyway. So I just want a normal watercolour brush for this one. So this is just a 6 round Aquafine Daler-Rowney brush. They're quite inexpensive, these ones, and this one has lasted me so long. I've had this right at the start of me doing any sort of watercolouring, so I'm not even going to worry about the pan itself. Just get some of that colour down, just like this. To add a spritz of water. I've just cleaned all the bedding as well, so I can't wait to go to bed now tonight. Oh, fresh sheets. And I've still not gone and got my nails took off. I need to desperately go and do it, but I've been to 3 different pharmacists now, and they've not got pure acetone for me to remove them at home. So I think I'm going to get my husband to take me to the big supermarket tomorrow, and hopefully they've got some. So this is quite watered down, this paint, and I will try and be careful of the clouds, because like I said, I want the clouds in the pinky colour into an ombre. That is the idea here, but whether it turns out or not is a different thing. So I'm not going to worry about the next page, because I'll hold the paper up. I think I'm spending too much time worrying about how this page is going to turn out, and that is not usually me. So I need to stop being silly and get back to what I usually do, and just don't worry. It's just a colouring page, and it can always be fixed. I mean, unless you put loads of black acrylic down, there's not really much you can do about that. But normally, 9 times out of 10, it can be fixed. I am working on filming another video at the moment, but this one is taking me ages because I'm having to do it over like in the evening times, so I'll do a voiceover for it. But I'm showing you how I rescue, you let me check the camera, how I rescue one of my Hannah Carlson pages after the disaster of the watercolour that leaks behind, and I'm probably about halfway through actually filming it and finishing it, and then I'll need to edit it and pop a voiceover over the top to explain what I'm doing. But yeah, that is another video that's coming up soon, whenever I get a chance to finish it. There is so many things that I do want to do, but it's having the time and the quiet to do it. Not necessarily time, because I could probably sit here and film every single night what I'm doing, but I think you'd probably be a bit bored, because I listen to YouTube videos and films and audio books at the same time, and I can't obviously talk at the same time as doing that. So yeah, we're nearly there, we're nearly at the school time. So I keep saying this, but I'm going to be an absolute mess that first day that she goes and gets took away on the little bus. I'm going to be an absolute mess. So there's a little one in the background there, let's not miss that one. just been introduced as well to, is it Biscoff biscuits. My husband brought some home last night and now I'm addicted to them. So once I've finished filming, I'm going to make myself a nice cup of tea and have a pack of them. You get like little packs of 2, like individually wrapped, so I'm going to have a pack of one of them. I didn't literally mean a pack with about 20 biscuits. Just got 2 biscuits in. So I know it'll look very messy now and you'll be thinking, what's she doing? But it will come together, I promise, and I'm promising myself that it will come together. It normally does. With just a bit of patience and a bit of courage sometimes. And one of your belly's rumbling. Is that you, Rolo? It's not tea time yet, it's not tea time for another 2 hours. So that'll be the base of that one done. I think what I'm going to have to do now is do the rest literally off camera, so I'll just do the exact same thing. Let me just bring you out over slightly. The exact same thing later on when I can. This colour just all over the mountains and then work on the Inktense. But I will come back on and do a little bit of the shading just to show you whereabouts I'm up to, and I might possibly do the clouds as well. You know, all the last minute little bits that you fiddle around with, I'll probably film that as well, hopefully. So I hope this video wasn't too long and you did stick with me until the end. Leave me a winky sign, a little emoji winky sign if you got to the end, and then I know who's got to the end of the video. But thank you very much for watching, and like I said at the very start of the video, please do subscribe. It helps out my channel loads, and leaving a little like and a comment and ring the bell. I will see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.